Former President Joe Biden was diagnosed with sea monster of the prostate. There's a lot to talk about here. All right, so if you read my red book, then you already know how this goes. I talk about the prostate a lot in this book. I laid out how the biopsy process goes. You see, what they do is, even if you have a low level rate of the sea monster, they're still going to rush you off the treatment. This is called defensive medicine. So they're going to over-test you and find everything that they can find wrong. Then they over-diagnose, then they over-treat. You usually find a nodule or something like that. Now, the former president is going to be in the news a lot for this. Why? Not because he's a former president. It's because prostate exams are a huge revenue stream for the medical monopoly. Again, I laid this out for you in my red book. That's why the red book is arguably the most important book you can ever read in your life. It's going to give you the information you need so that you can make better quality decisions with your health. Mammograms, prostate exams, big revenue streams. That's why when a celebrity gets diagnosed with prostate or breast sea monster, it is talked about a lot in the media. If he had sea monster of the brain or sea monster of the blood, it wouldn't get promoted as much. In fact, they would probably promote it as just sea monster. They wouldn't narrow it down to what it actually is. But prostate and breast get promoted because they want more people to be scared so that they go get their prostate checked, they go get their breasts checked, and they drive up business. And eventually, the more you get checked, obviously they're going to find something at some point. It's not possible to not find something because your body goes through ebbs and flows. It goes through states of abnormalities. You're not giving your body a chance to fix it. You're just rushing off for another test every year. And then once it's discovered, the medical monopoly, by pretty much law, has to diagnose you and treat you. And you follow along. And if you actually say no, they're going to try and convince you otherwise. And if you actually get your choice and it's a legit no, you're going to have to sign paperwork. You're going to have to sign paperwork so that they're not liable. Now, in the case of the former president, it is reported that he was having bladder issues. Okay? If he came to us, entered our membership, and practiced head-to-toe healing, those bladder issues would more than likely go away. Because bladder issues aren't just a prostate thing. What about the position of your spine? What about the position of your pelvis? This all matters in that area. What about nutrition? How many deficiencies does the man have? He's 80-something years old. Why wouldn't he have deficiencies? What if he has a compressed nerve? Perhaps that's why he talks the way he has the last few years. Everyone's always throwing the dementia thing out. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he has a compressed nerve that affects his motor skills, which also may affect his bladder. This is why my new method of head-to-toe healing is the most complete and efficient system in history, or at least in modern history. Maybe there was something 1,000 years ago that I don't know about, but right now, this is it. The medical monopoly is just going to treat you with radiation and chemo or they're not going to tell him to change his diet. They're not going to say, hey, your spine is out of whack. You know, your pelvis is elevated on the left side. You know, your pelvic floor is a little tight. They're not going to do that. They're going to go for their cash flow. And they're going to promote and exploit someone as famous as a former president to push sales. Every time someone gets a prostate exam, a breast exam, mammogram, it's big sales. And I laid this out in the Red Book. I showed you the math. I even showed you the math. So I just wanted to bring this all to your attention. If you want to go do medical monopoly treatment, that's your choice. But there is another way. But it's going to be deemed quackery, snake oil, because the programming is so thick. The medical monopoly has programmed you to look at me as the enemy. I urge you, go to drkevinreese.com. We have the most healing results ever recorded on video. Go look. The proof is in the pudding. Spend 10 hours. Watch them all. They're there. I hope this video has been useful. Please share it with whoever you need to share it with. And I'll talk to you soon.